Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another entry in our Community Cast series. In this match, we're going to have a showdown between the Vampire Coast, who shall be led by King of the Dead, and the Tomb Kings, who are going to be helmed by the mighty Thunderbird. So on that note, guys, let's jump right into this match and have some fun. So as far as this Tomb King's build, it's most certainly a King of the Dead special, so he's probably one of the only players I actually play against that uses these zombie pirate gunnery mobs with bombs. So hey, it should be quite a bit of fun. But in the second line, it's going to be, I think in total, 4 of these guys. So if they do have a niche at all, it's going to be killing lightly armored troops. They have pretty good splash damage. Their missile damage is 31. So if they're throwing against skeleton warriors and tomb guards and anything in terms of the Tomb King's infantry, it's going to be pretty good damage. So in total, he does have 4 of those bad boys. And the front line is just going to be chaff. So basically the zombie pirate deckhand mobs in the front just take the beating. They hold while the guys who actually can throw okay while they're in melee combat. So for example, if these guys are going to be fighting the Tomb King skeletons and tomb guard in the front line, the bombers have a little bit of a decent arc of fire, so they can actually throw like up and over just here and actually get into the enemy infantry corps while your zombies are actually fighting. So a lot of missile units do struggle to shoot things that are in combat, but these guys can do an okay job. So that's probably most certainly their niche here. On the flanks, it's a couple groups of these zombie pirate deckhand mobs with polearms. These guys pretty self-explanatory, good against Tomb Kings at fending off Nehekar horsemen, skeleton horsemen, pretty good against constructs as well. If they're fighting, let's say, a Tomb Scorpion, Nehekar War Sphinx? No, it's not that. It's a Kemrian War Sphinx. It's from Kemri. The Kemrian War Sphinx, stuff like that, these guys are going to be very efficient. Up in the skies, King of the Dead does also have a Death Shriek Terror guy. So these guys, pretty solid as well. And the Tomb Kings do have a couple decent answers in Ushapti Grey Bows, and sometimes the Boner Giant can get in there and do some work. But, with good strafing, this guy can usually dodge a Bone Giant. But yeah, Tomb Kings have some good answers as well. But this guy does do some heavy AP, so against Tomb Scorpions, any sort of construct play, he's going to apply poison. He has breath attacks, which can do some okay work as well. And he's definitely a nice inclusion for sure. Gives you some good sniping, some good battlefield control with the flying, and definitely not bad. Here at the back, we do have a very unorthodox pick as well. So it's going to be Araness Assault Spy, but normally when you see her, she's on foot, but she's going to be on her crab, which you don't see terribly often. It does make her quite a bit tankier, but it also makes her a much bigger target. So on the crab, she gets 120 armor. And as far as her ability, she does have the Kraken's Bane, which is probably one of the better items, on the roster here. And this gives a 5 melee attack plus a bonus for a large of 8 to all nearby troops. So you can see here, King of the Dead does have that very nice combo using the Depth Guard with Araness Assault Spike. So basically you have this like hard-hitting, high combat stat unit with a bonus for its large, just crumping all over constructs, which I love. It's very, very powerful synergy. Halberd's in the back, and we do have a vampire caster as well, who's not going to be able to heal Araness, I don't believe. I don't think so. I think even if she's on the Leviathan or the Promethean here, she's not considered undead. So Invocation cannot heal her, but nonetheless, there's plenty of other targets. Depth Guard and of course the Terrorgeist up in the skies. And for the army of Thunderbird and the Tomb Kings, here on the ground, he does have a couple of groups of the Nehekar horsemen, which are a great pick. Very good against bombers, gun lines, cannons. They're just a solid unit, plus they're also a very good counter against the dogs, and you can see here King of the Dead does also have a couple scurvy dogs lurking in the trees. So having the Nehekar horsemen for battlefield control, hunting down enemy skirmishers, and pressuring the back line, solid pick here, but hopefully they don't go too far because this back line's looking a little bit juicy for these scurvy dogs. And for the front line, it's going to be Nehekar Warriors comboed with Tomb Guard with Halberds. So Nehekar Warriors will beat down zombie pirate deckhand mobs, obviously, but it's really going to come down to the bomber play in that frontline fight. Skeleton Archers also going to be very good. They have 140 range against the, I think like 60 range or 55 range, of the bombers. So they have a pretty substantial advantage in that department. But again, the bombers do have a big HP pool. I think they have like almost 8,000. No, only 6,400. So it's not as much as I thought. We got Ark in the Black on his evil cackling Necromancer Chariot. He's going to come in with Spirit Leech and Buna. So probably going to be using Buna on the Depth Guard, really taking out those elite troops, and he's always a powerful choice. Granted, I don't know about the Chariot in the Tomb Kings matchup, but we'll see how it does. He has the Tomb Prince as well, anti-large, armor piercing, Tomb Strike, pretty good stats, and it looks like in the back, Skeleton Spears, and on the far side, he does also have a couple of carrion up in the skies. Certainly going to be a fun battle, seeing how these bombs, how they can efficiently work here against his front line. And I did also forget to mention that in the front, the Thunderbird does have the Kepra Guard. So the Kepra Guard are the Regiment of Renown of Tomb Guard, and for anyone who doesn't know what they do, they basically are just very juiced Tomb Guard. They give up their shields for offensive stats. You can see 38, 36, 47 on the weapon strength, which is quite fat, and they also regenerate, so very similar to like the Sternsman and stuff like that. So neither army has true artillery. It doesn't look like the Tomb Kings have anything going on over here in regards to artillery. And the Vampire Coast, do they have a cannon or a carronade or something? I don't think they do. So both players going to be having a bit of a standoff here as the Terrorgeist is going to be swooping. But a very nice pick here from Thunderbird. He actually finds the dogs in the forest with the Nehekar horsemen. So the doggies weren't too well hidden. And they're going to be getting crumped pretty bad. They have 26 melee attack, but Nehekar horsemen actually have 35 melee defense. They're pretty meaty in terms of like kind of a mid-range skirmish cap unit, and that's why they make a pretty good choice here in this matchup against Scurvy Dogs and units like that. The Death Shriek Terrorgeist is going to be jumping in. He'll probably get a couple kills, nothing to write home about, but at the very least he'll get some damage out of it. And the other dogs are coming in. Now this is a bit of a risky play. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, maybe if he's able to catch a couple of these guys, and it looks like he is kind of nibbling on the heals. But again, these guys could probably turn around and kill the Scurvy Dogs and, still take some damage from the Terror guys. But if they keep running, it's going to work out for the Scurvy Dogs. But it looks like at this point they are going to be turning around, and you can see the Great Thunderbird is going to be sending the Tomb Guard with halberds down here to potentially screen out the Death Shriek Terror guys. So definitely not bad. In the Deep Vanguard, I forgot to mention, it looks like King of the Dead does have another group of Scurvy Dogs who are going to be playing that very, very patient game, maybe waiting for the battle to get very saturated before they pop out and maybe go for the scraps. So frontline fighting is about to be underway. You can see that the Blessed Legion of Demonetization is going to be shooting in against the zombie pirate gunnery mobs here in the back. And it's certainly going to be good for them. I mean, honestly, if I were the Tomb Kings, I probably wouldn't advance here. I would just wait, because you're just advancing to the bomb line. But maybe he's just kind of in a rush to get these guys down. Probably force the Tomb Kings to advance would be a little bit better. But now we get to see the bombs in action. So the bombs are going to be coming in and getting some beautiful damage. I mean, that's really good. That's some solid value. It's kind of like blasting charges from the dwarves. But again, we'll see how it goes over the course of the sustained combat here. And the Netcar horsemen, or warriors here in the front, are getting burned down pretty bad by the bombs. It's certainly a pretty cool looking show here. If you just go across the front, you can see smoke and rubble, and a lot of skeletons getting knocked over and staggered here. And the zombies are going to be bracing for the charge. They probably should countercharge, but they have a charge bonus of nothing, so it's not like a huge deal. Now, over on the far side, the Death Shriek Terror guys did kind of have to pull back. Ark of the Black came over, he had the halberds. The Scurvy Dogs have been taken offline, and you can see here King of the Dead is going to be kind of rotating his forces. So Aranessa plus the Vampire Fleet Captain and the halberds are going to be trying to screen these guys out, getting ready to fight. But the two groups of Scurvy Dogs at the very least have gone down. Now the Skeleton Archers are pouring in, doing some pretty good sustained combat damage here against the gunnery mobs. The Tomb King player is also going to be grabbing the Carrion and jumping on top of the bombs here, which is a good play, temporarily shutting those guys down. But like I said, these guys actually have pretty good, I don't know what the term would be to articulate that, but even though their troops are fighting in the front, they're able to kind of keep throwing. They don't get obstructed like handguns or pistols. They have that nice little arc of fire, kind of like a mini mortar in place. And the Tomb King's front line is certainly having problems. The Kepler Guard getting focused heavily by the bombers, and those guys are just getting put in the can. We do also have the Depth Guard here in the front. The Depth Guard are very, very tough. I mean, they're just a meat grinder. They're going to be able to hard counter pretty much all the Tomb King's infantry. Of course, they have a bonus for infantry. They're heavily armored. Tomb King's infantry, aside from halberds, have very, very bad AP. So this is going to be a great little situation here for the Tomb Kings and company as they do kind of push through these front lines. So the entire front line of the Tomb Kings pretty much evaporating here. I mean, they have some spears that have been pulled in from the back, but with that, it looks like King of the Dead does get some Scurvy Dogs, the ones that he had in deep hiding, and they do jump into the back on the Blessed Legion. I don't know if they're going to have enough stopping power to get through, because the Tomb Prince is kind of working on him, but nonetheless, we'll see how it goes. Ark in the Black able to get away from this engagement. Aranessa and company did move over here, and it looks like there was a summon of zombie pirate deckhand mobs, and Aranessa and her crab, as well as his terror guys, were able to do some punching damage here on the Netcar horsemen, but those guys are going to be able to probably disengage, because these summons are going to be disappearing relatively soon due to the summon nerf that was with the Prophet and Warlock DLC. Now, somehow, some way, some of these Netcar warriors are still pushing through, which is surprising, but it looks like that was the only part of the formation that did well, simply because the Carrion jumped in the back and were able to shut down the respective bomber group that was going to be throwing at them. The rest of the Tomb King's line is, pretty tattered up. I mean, again, they did pretty well over here, but it looks like that was also because of the Ushapti summon. So the Ushapti summon here in the back is going to be doing well. So very good stuff here from the Tomb King's player. I mean, kind of responding to, wherever he takes pressure, he punches right back. And it's kind of like a principle you see in chess. Whenever I play chess or a game like that, you always want to be making a move that's forcing your opponent to react in a defensive manner. When you get put in the back foot, of course, it gets a little bit scary, unless you're layering your defenses. So there are always those kind of principles here, but anyways, I could go on for all about that theory and stuff like that. But the bombers here are going to be turning and taking some pot shots downtown at the Netcar horsemen and some of these Netcar warriors here. But it looks like the horsemen are going to be able to surge in, potentially shut these guys off. Araness Assault Spite and the Terror guys. Ooh, Terror guys actually getting beaten down pretty bad here by the Tomb Prince. Tomb Prince does have the Tomb Strike and, of course, bonus for large. So he's able to get in there and do some really good damage. But Araness is coming in, and she's an anti-large duelist herself. So, of course, the Tomb Prince on his horse is large. But Tomb Prince is, the Tomb Strike is still active. So a little bit of a dangerous duel here, but it looks like Taunt is going to be going down. Of course, he has Taunt as well as Hornswoggle on these two characters, so he's going to be able to layer those debuffs. And man, look at that damage. Aranessa is laying just a royal crab whooping on this Tomb Prince. I mean, I guess it's a 2v1, but these crabs are doing some very solid work. And the Terror guys could probably swoop back in here, but it looks like it's going to go shut down the other archers, the Blessed Legion, which isn't a bad idea. Granted, he could have maybe charged in the back and finished off the Tomb Prince, but it looks like the Tomb Prince isn't going to be running anyway, so here we go. So yeah, he might be able to get away, but of course, Tomb Kings don't have Invocation on the Heck or ways to really heal up these undead units at a rapid rate outside of the lore of Netcar and the Realm of Souls. So he's going to be pulling back. This Terror guy over here should be able to finish off the Blessed Legion. Now, let's take a big old look at the battlefield. Over here, we have the grinding war of attrition between these two halberds. That's probably going to go on until the end of time. Here we have these zombie pirate deckhand mobs with polearms who are going to be working on some of these Carrion here. The Carrion definitely very pesky getting into the bomb line, but it looks like the Tomb Kings were actually able to counterpunch here a little bit and get rid of most of the Vampire Coast kind of core here. But, Arkin's going to have a tough fight. Arkin the Black coming in, going for a charge on Araness Assault Spy, but she gets him with the Spearfisher's Net, so he's actually pinned down. But he does have Libra Mortis plus, just all kinds of buffs going on right here, so he's going to be very tough to just kill. But, oh man, the Terror guy's coming in the back. He also has Guardian from this Tomb Prince. So layering those buffs, but it looks like the Deathstreak Terrorgeist is able to take out the Tomb Crit. So great stuff. Man, I need to have some water. This game is so heated. Oh, that was good and tasty. So good. So the Deathstreak Terrorgeist is going to be pulling back up into the skies. Maybe no, it's actually going to be switching over here to the Blessed Legion. A very nice Spirit Leech coming down from the Tomb Kings right here. So one thing that could go pretty well for the Tomb Kings is if they're able to clean up all the infantry. So for example, these deckhand mobs and other troops like that, and they're able to just sit on this halberd group and the other halberd group on the far side, they're going to be pretty good against Aranessa and some of those other large troops. And of course, Ark in the Black and sustained combat isn't terrible, but he should probably just be going after some of the infantry here. But it looks like, yeah, they're going to be trying to dogpile on here on the Terrorgeist, which I suppose isn't a bad idea. Yeah, I would probably do the same thing. And I don't know if he has any Spirit Leeches. Looks like we just saw one left, so he probably has like 1 or 2 left, maybe. He does have the Winds of Magic regeneration with the Staff of the Ash, so he's one of those characters that can get a lot of value from, you know, the Winds of Magic over the course of a long game here. But the Terrorgeist is able to survive that Alpha Strike. It's able to finish off these archers. They're crumbling. They have negative 25 leadership. They're going to be going down to, I don't know, what was the... Oh man, I forgot I forgot the lyrics of that song. Anyways, I'll get it next time. So the crab is going to be jumping in here. It looks like there is one last summoner. No, that's actually going to be Arkan Skeleton summons. And it looks like these summons are going to be disappearing. So those 2 summons just like peacing out right here. But as far as what both players have left, we have Tomb Guards with Halberds here. Nice little breath attack here from the Terrorgeist, who is going to be getting Spirit Leeched. He's at 9 leadership, 24 leadership, in the danger zone a little bit. But he's going to be going in for that sweet strike on Arkan the Black. Arkan is a pretty juicy target for him. This guy is an anti-large, but he's kind of a generalist. He has 40, 47, 460, so he's going to be able to get in there with that charge bonus and potentially kill Arkan the Black. And it looks like Arkan's probably going to be falling. I would imagine there's another Spearfisher's Net coming up, and there it is. So it's going to be locking down Arkan Black, and yeah, he's just going to get taken to Pound Town here, I would imagine. I mean, he does have some halberds protecting, but oh, that Terrorgeist needs to get in there. What are they doing? Just go after him. Fetish him. And you can see here the Terrorgeist is going to be going in for the rear charge, working up and around that formation. Here comes the attack. Arkan the Black is going to be getting out of that net in just a second, but it looks like it's going to be enough. He has 300 HP. That's going to be all she wrote for the Tomb Kings there. So very, very well played to King of the Dead. It was very cool bomber play. And, you know, it worked pretty well. I mean, it was able to kind of really kill that Tomb Kings front line. I don't know. I'm still of the opinion that, like, he's kind of crutching himself with those guys. I feel like there's, like, I don't know. They did some really good damage, though. So maybe if it was against, like, more elite infantry, like Tomb Guards, it would have been a little bit more of a value train. But again, Thunderbird did a good job with his backline harass, getting the Carrion and some of the horsemen back there, so maybe that's why they didn't. But I always just feel like mixing in a couple more Death Guard is a little bit more efficient than getting the gunnery mobs here. But I don't know. I guess they didn't do bad. I got to try myself. And let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about the Zombie Park Gunnery Mobs Bombers variant? Do they work for you guys in multiplayer? I'd be very curious to hear about your experiences. But as far as the army goes, it was very cool. Araness on the crab plus this guy gave him some, you know, a good anti-construct play. Like, if there had been any constructs, her anti-large plus the other crab, good armor piercing, good hunting with Hornswoggle and Taunt. I really like that combination. And the dogs, of course, a staple. You have to be able to chase down your Shopties, Skeleton Archers. It's very important because most people against Vampire Coast just spam Archers. So having the dogs is super clutch. Terrorgeist did great. Depth Guard, of course, took a little bit of a beating. So I think they actually did get slapped with the Fate of Buna during the game, or a couple Spirit Leeches that really put him down. But yeah, I guess the Bombers didn't do bad. 54, 52, and the other ones, of course, got compromised by Harass, but that's still not bad. And you saw the burst damage that was able to go through, and the Tomb King's front line definitely was superior. So being able to kind of crump those guys with the bombs, I suppose, wasn't bad. Something to think about. And yeah, for the Tomb King's army, I liked it. Let's see. So I'm not the biggest fan of Nehekar Warriors. I mean, but they're not bad, though. 88, 103. Couple halberds is good. Kepper Guard is one of those ones that does get focused down a bit in this matchup. I don't know if you need them per se. You don't need like elite infantry to beat the Tomb Kings. I think just getting more archers is probably going to be super good. And you can even mix in like Ushapti Great Bows if you want to. But again, the fear is Carronades, because Carronades are very, very good against Ushapti Great Bows. So, but if you have ample backline harass, there's a multitude of ways you can play this, really. I mean, there's so many different ways. But I did like the build for sure, and it was a very close game. So well played to King of the Dead and Thunderbird. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this community cast, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.